In this video, I will show you how to scale and size user interface properly in Roblox Studio. You'll understand how to scale UI across all devices, so all your GUI is transferable across platforms. Let's get started. We need to create some GUI. For this tutorial, I'm going to create a panel with a header text, an information text, and a close button. I won't script the close button as I already have a video on my channel about this. I'll leave it linked in the description. First, let's add a screen GUI to start a GUI. Inside of this object, let's add a frame. I'll name it background. Now if we click test and device emulator and change the device that we are emulating, we'll see that the frame does not scale properly with the device. That brings us on to why. Why is this happening? Well, if we open the properties tab and click the frame, we see the size is set to 0, 100 and 0, 100. The first pair of values represents the size in the X direction, and the second pair of values represent the size in the Y direction. The first value in each pair represents the scale value, and the second value in each pair represents the offset value. So our size is really set to 100 offset X and 100 offset Y. Think of one offset as being the equivalent of 1 pixel on your screen, so what we really have is a 100 pixel by 100 pixel frame. This is why when we emulate a new device, the frame appears larger, because these devices have less screen size. Now let's look at how to properly scale GUI. If offset is pixels, we can figure out that scale is a scale of something. Scale represents a multiplier of the size of the parent object. Because this frame doesn't have a parent that is bound by a size, the scale will be a multiplier of the size of the screen. So the scale in the X direction is a multiplier of the width of the screen, and the scale in the Y direction is a multiplier of the height of the screen. The first thing I like to do when sizing UI is set the size to 0.1, 0, 0.1, 0. This removes the offset values. Now, when we resize the frame, the scale values are changed. This means we can size the frame to be the scale we want. So I'm going to set it to about this size because it's going to go on the side just here. So about this. When it comes to positioning our GUI properly, you'll notice that we have an anchor point. It's a bit hard to see with all the other little buttons, resizing buttons in the background, but it's just this square up here. You can kind of see the black outline. This is the point from which the position is calculated. It is usually best practice to place the anchor point at the center of the element. This isn't always the case, but more often than not, this is what we should be doing. So we can do this by changing the anchor point property to 0.5, 0.5. And now it will reposition the element, but if we drag it to where we want it, you can also see that anchor point a little bit more clearly now. If we go and emulate different devices now, we see it's much nicer, much cleaner, and it's sort of scaling properly as well. There is one last method I'd like to show you. For extra scaling measures, we can add a UI aspect ratio constraint to the element. And this will support scaling and keeping the aspect ratio of the frame or the element. At first it will resize your UI, don't worry about this, so let's go and click add, and a UI aspect ratio constraint. Play around with the aspect ratio slider until you get back to the original size. So if I increase it, we're just not going in the right way, so if I decrease it, then we go up. So I kind of want to go to the point where it stops getting taller and goes thinner. I want that point right in the middle, which for me is 0.66. Now when we emulate other devices, it scales perfectly. And it keeps the exact same aspect ratio no matter what. Finally, let's finish the GUI I said we'd create at the start of the tutorial. So I'll add a text label and name it header text. And I want this to span the entire width, so it will have a scale on the X of 1, no offset. It will have a scale on the Y of, I'll just put it at 0.1 for now, and a no offset. Now I can manually change this. I can change the text to say header, and scale it. Again, I can change the anchor point, and I've got to reposition it, but that's not a problem. In fact, it's not quite there, so let me just make sure it's properly snapped in place. So it's not quite in the right position. So what I can do is go over here and manually set the position to 0.5, 0, 0, and then I can just drag it down. Now, if we go to test device emulator and go to a really small device, the header text, because it's scaling, If we got like a really small device, it will squish. There's actually not one small enough on here, but it will sort of look squishy and not too good. So if you want to scale your text but still enable that to change and restrict it on different devices, we can add a UI text size constraint, which allows you to set a max height and a min height. So I'll set the max at 52 and the minimum at 8. And then for the header text, I'll also add the aspect ratio constraint and just play around with it till it's the right size. Seems to be 4.15, that looks good. And now I can duplicate this text and make the information text. And it's just the exact same process. So when I try and resize this, it's not going to work very well. And that's because it's still got the UI aspect ratio constraint. So whenever you want to resize something, make sure you delete that first. Then you can resize it to how you want. And now once I've got that in there, I can add back the UI aspect ratio constraint and play around with it until it fits the correct size. And finally, let's add the close button. So this will be a text button. I'll rename it to close button. Start by setting the size to 0.10, 0.10, and then I can manually resize it to what I want. I'll set the anchor point to 0.5, 0.5, and then I can reposition it where I want. Let me size it so it's proper. So I'll go for 51 by 51, pop it up here. I'll make the text just be an X and scale that. I won't bother adding a size constraint, but I will be adding a UI aspect ratio constraint. Again, just got to play around with it until it's the right size, which I think is just 1. Perfect. And now I can go to test, device emulator, and no matter what device I'm on, this UI is scaling perfectly. I have noticed a little sort of error margin in this information text where the UI aspect ratio constraint hasn't quite filled the entire thing. Now, obviously, that is very hard to notice. I'm not sure if you can see it on the recording, but what we can do is just delete the UI aspect ratio constraint for all the children because they should scale anyway. Because these are set to scale relative to the parent, which is the background, they should scale and including the aspect ratio based on the background. So if we was to go to device emulator, no matter what, the scale should always be the same because it's all scaling based on the size of the parent. So you only ever really need the UI aspect ratio constraint if it's the parent element. Any children don't really need it, but it's good practice to include it. But worst case, if you get those little bits you can't get rid of, you don't need it. Anyway, that is it for this tutorial. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe as it really helps us out. And feel free to check out our Discord server, which you can find the link to in the description, where we're trying to build a community of future game developers. Once again, thanks for watching and goodbye.